Well, good, beautiful morning, and welcome again to Tesla, Northwest and EVs. I have finally gotten the latest version of full self-driving 12.3. Yay! So, join me on the flip side as we head down to Lynnwood. We're going to Tesla service. Amos likes to chew up his back tires. I put them on in Kansas, less than 10,000 miles, and they're already down to the cord on the inside. So we're going into the Tesla service to get new tires before we head to California. So this is my first impression drive using the latest version of FSD beta here at Tesla Northwest and EVs. I appreciate you joining me. We'll have memes, we'll have GIFs, we'll have laughs, and like I said, we're going to have some back roads, State Route 20. We'll get onto I-5, we'll get off in Lynnwood, so it'll be a variety of challenges for this latest version, and it's all neural nets, baby. So I'll catch you on the flip side here at Tesla Northwest and EVs. Thanks for joining us. All right, folks, here we are. We are ready to go. As you can see, we've got the latest FSD beta 12.3. We're gonna head down to Lynnwood, to the service center, and it is about a 67-mile drive. So we're gonna head out now. We should get there a little before 11. So we are in drive. I'm gonna creep up and see if it allows me to engage FSD, and it does right away, and FSD is engaged. So let's see how it does. My plan here is to take you out the route I normally would use to test FSD, the Harold's Market run. So we're gonna run out that way. Very well done. We're gonna run out that way, so we'll see my normal Harold's Market run with FSD, and then, so we're going very slow, 20 miles an hour in a 30. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on State Route 20, so we're gonna have to make a left-hand turn onto a busy state route. We'll go through a roundabout, we'll go onto a bypass lane that then turns into a merge onto 20, and then I'll probably cut the camera, and then when we get into Burlington to I-5, I'll turn things back on. We'll see how Amos does getting onto Interstate 5 South as far as merging and whatnot. Nicely stopped, and we're going. Nice. I'll probably turn the camera once we get onto Interstate 5, and then we'll head into Lynnwood. And when we get off the freeway at Lynnwood, I will turn the camera back on. We'll see how it does taking us all the way into the Tesla service center. And then we'll probably call this a good video. I'll try and keep it around 20 minutes. As always, I'll sprinkle GIFs and memes throughout to kind of make it fun. And just appreciate everybody joining me. So let's see how things go. So I raised it to 35 and it's still holding at 30. So it's got a bit of a mind of its own on its speed limits, which, you know, isn't a terrible thing. I just realized I didn't have my microphone. So I'm sorry if that audio was terrible. I just picked it up out of the cup holder. God, Ryan. As you can tell, it's been a while since I did an FSD video, mainly because it's been so long since we got an update. But now that we've got it, I am pumped. And as I said, we're gonna head to California. We're gonna go visit my daughter and son-in-law and my grandson down in Clear Lake. So we would love it if you would join us for that trip and all the FSD shenanigans that will have. So again, it's going to go its own speed. It's decided that it wants to do 28, even though I've got it set to 35, and we'll just kind of go with that. Don't know how much I really like that, but you know, it is what it is. Listen to a little bit of the Batteries Included podcast. I don't know if any of you have checked that out, but it's a great podcast with Kyle Connor, Tom Malogny, Dominic Yanni, and Martin from EV Daily News. So love that podcast. It really helps me get back and forth to work on my commute, and I highly suggest you check it out. They used to be the Inside EV podcast, but then those guys moved and started their own, and it's just as good as the old one. All right, we got a couple speed changes here. Let's see what happens. So we're already set to 35. It went up to 42. Good. And now it should go up to 45. 48. Okay. But we're still just going 36. Here's a nag. So it's kind of, I mean, it's doing a really good job. It's driving nice, but it's just a little bit slow. I mean, it's doing the speed limit, so I guess that's actually not doing the speed limit, but I guess that's okay. Yeah, it's a little weird. I wish it would do the speed limit, but I guess it can't now we've got a car in front of us. been a hectic winter, so it's another reason why I haven't been getting a bunch of videos. Man, I had my hot water tank went out on me, so I had to get that replaced. That was a $7,000 job. My wife's poor Fiona got wrecked. What are we doing here? So that was a pain. I had to get that replaced. Didn't have to fight with the insurance company too bad, so that was good. Dealing with insurance companies can sometimes be a bit difficult, but Farmers was pretty good. Boy, why are they going so slow? Otherwise, I've been excited to make videos, but I just kept waiting to get a new version of FSD, and it's just been lagging and lagging, but I know they want to make sure it's safe, so another nag. So I can appreciate that, but boy, it'd be nice if going forward we get updates a little quicker. I'm kind of looking forward to that. There we go. That's a nice acceleration. Still leery to go the speed limit. I don't know why. That's strange. I wonder what... Let's see what our autopilot settings are on. We're on assertive. Automatic speed offset. I added that in. I didn't have that going. And we're in assertive. Alright, so maybe that'll help. Okay, here's our first right-hand turn. Okay, nice stop. It's going to need to creep a little bit. You can see the blue line telling it where it's going to creep to. That wasn't bad. It was actually pretty natural for maybe a little bit more timid driver. Nice acceleration. Really nice acceleration out of the stop sign. Okay, and so I have it set for auto speed adjustment, and it says max, so it's not going to let me make any adjustments with my scroll wheel now because it's going the max it wants to go. So we'll just kind of see how it does with that, right? May probably make me a better, safer driver. Oh boy, I'm just glad everybody joins me. I hope you enjoy the MIFs and the MIFs, the memes and my GIFs. I like to try and have fun. For those of you that have seen my videos before, you know my philosophy is, let's have a good time. I'm gonna bring you nice house with a Kia EV7 in it. Okay, let's see if we go around this car. Give it a berth here, a wide berth. A little bit, not much. But I don't like to bring you anything cut, so I don't cut out any mistakes. Good and bad, you get to see. I don't speed anything up. I don't typically attach music. Okay, here we got a weird dog leg we got to make. So we're going to go to the left. The car has to be watching for oncoming traffic and still complete its maneuver. Good blinker. Oh, wow. So naturally done. For any of you that have watched my Harold's Market Run FSD trials, you'll know that that dog leg, it does, but it has a hard time with. So very, very well done. Great job on this stop sign. We're not flying up at it at a huge speed and stopping, although we are stopping kind of far back. So that's a little bit redonkulous. And I'm going to assume that the car checked behind it. I did for it. Nothing was coming. I think I would have liked it to have creeped up a little more and looked, but that wasn't bad. So no speeding up things, no cutting out the bad FSD. You're going to get my commentary, so if you can't stand me, I'm sorry. And I won't do full-length videos, right? There's no reason to bring you all the coverage of I-5 and all the coverage of State Route 20. I mean, that's just simple autopilot stuff. But really what we want to see is how is it managing the more complicated maneuvers? Is it pissing off other drivers? Is it comfortable? And so far it is. I would say, again, its speed choices are conservative. And that might upset some people that want to speed, but we're going to stick with it. We're going to see how it does throughout this trip. I'm in no big hurry. My appointment's at 11:15, so I got time to get down there. And there's nothing to listen to because I don't want to get copyright striked. I don't think my podcast would copyright strike, but we're not going to rain on their parade by playing it on another YouTube video. So, all right, let's make sure it doesn't get fooled by these stop signs. I'm ready here. Oh, it's braking a little bit. It was hesitant, but it made it through it. Good. Okay. So not much longer here. We probably got another 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll cut the video. We're going to come up here to State Route 20 and make a left. I would definitely say that if you are a speed demon, if you like to go fast, this is not the thing for you to have it on the auto speed set, because as you can see, it's like following the rules quite closely. I mean, it's letting it go up a little bit, about 3 over now, 4 over. There we go, a little nag. Quite a few nags too. They really want to make sure we're paying attention. But I mean, it's driving very, very well. It's driving like somebody who's following all the rules would. Hey, Model S, nice. And like I said, I guess I'm not in a big hurry, so we're just gonna see how it does. I'm sure the State Patrol would appreciate the fact that this isn't a speed demon. They've had some real emphases out here in Washington lately. In fact, during my hiatus from FSD videos, I've gotten a couple speeding tickets, and it's because I didn't have a working radar detector. My radar detector got cooked during our road trip to the Grand Canyon. Love it if you check those videos out. So I've replaced it since, and then I got another one for Mr. Belvedere, our new Model S. That's what we replaced my wife's Fiat with, and so you'll be seeing a video on that soon. Again, I'm trying to do a couple videos a week, not overdo it. Yeah, this is very, very conservative. I'm probably going to switch off this. Well, no, we'll leave it on. Why not? I'm not in a big hurry. Another hectic thing that came up, right, is YouTube hit me with a, they demonetized me because they said I was stealing content, and it's like, what? I'm not stealing any content. You guys can see here, I make it, and then I find GIFs and I add things, and so I had to appeal, and I won. But that was a bit of a shocker too. I was like, oh my God, YouTube, I'm not stealing anything from anybody. Okay, here we go, folks. This is the big test. This is a left-hand turn onto a busy state route, 55 mile an hour. There is a left-hand turn lane that we can get into, so let's see how FSD manages this. I'm gonna be, very, very cautious here, because it makes me a bit nervous. Okay, nice stop. We're not creeping forward. It's got a big creep bar there. We got traffic coming from our right, so it's being careful. Oh, we could get into this left lane here. Okay, it dropped its brakes. It's thinking I might have to take over if it doesn't realize it can get in the left lane. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna, oof, boy, it's trying. Let's just give it another minute here. There's nothing coming on either direction. It should go. Yep. Now, it had a left-hand lane it could have gotten into, so it really should have done that. And now it's splitting that lane, and it really should be accelerating faster. It made it. It actually did it pretty well. Again, I would say that was like a student driver or something, but real slow, and now we're going real slow on this uptick here. Like, why isn't it speeding up? Come on, baby, go. All right, let's try it without the auto preset on. Let's take that off. And let's see what it happens. So we're gonna lower our speed down to something a little bit more normal. And as you can see, it still isn't really wanting to obey me necessarily. It's going a little bit faster, but it definitely isn't making much of a difference whether I switch back and forth. This could be an interesting drive to Seattle. Might be in the right lane a lot. All right, next we got a roundabout. Let's see how it manages that. Then we're gonna head down onto a bypass lane that will merge into State Route 20, heading to I-5 South. So we'll see how it manages all of that, and then I'm gonna turn the camera off and we'll come back as we get onto I-5, heading to Lynnwood. So here we come to our roundabout. I've heard this is really, really smooth now. I guess we'll find out. I guess it depends on the traffic in front of us too. Okay. So far, so good. Got a questionable Subaru. Oh, hit the brakes way too hard. I didn't want to get hit, so I gave it a little juice of gas. It should not have stopped there. It was okay. That was overly cautious. So that was an intervention, not a disengagement. I did have to intervene just to give it a juice of gas. But so far, very smooth. If not just a little bit slow. So look at, we're giving lots of space here. Our buddy in the black car up there is very impatient. And it's because there's an oversized load on a truck up ahead of us. That's why we're not going real quick. All right. right. So we'll get on to State Route 20. We'll see how it does getting situated, and then we will rejoin you back when we're getting on to I-5. I'm really curious to see how it does merging. This van's right on my butt. Maybe I should have put on my student driver magnets again. Okay, good. Blinker on. It doesn't need to stop here. It just needs to be kind of watching. That's what it did. Okay, nicely done. Nicely done. Now let's speed up. Good, good. Okay. Now we'll come up and we'll just see how well it gets established here. I wouldn't mind it getting over into the other lane, but you know, that's all right. It's driving, so I'm not going to complain too bad, right? I don't want to be a backseat driver to my FSD. All right, you should get over, bud. I'm going to initiate a lane change. That was me. The car should have done it itself, but it didn't, so. Okay, there we go. We're gonna head to Burlington. We're gonna get on I-5 South in a moment. Oh boy, I wanted to get right back over. All right, fair enough. That was interesting. We did have traffic behind us, so I guess it, and I don't know why it's going so slow. Like, go car. Go car. Yeah, this is gonna be a long trip if the speeds are gonna be this way. Yeah, I just goosed it. All right, well, giving it a little bit of a goose did make it want to stand up and do something. We're gonna ask it to get over. All right, it decided it didn't want to get over because it's got a big truck behind us. So I had to goose it to get it to speed up, and that's a little annoying. Of course, you can see this traffic is annoying as well, so. Anyway, all right, folks, I'll rejoin you when we get closer to I-5. We'll see how it's going. So far, we've had 2 interventions. One going through the roundabout. I juiced it a little bit because it hit the brakes kind of hard. And then I've had to use my blinker to ask it to get into the passing lane. And then I also had to give it a little gas to get it to speed up. And it should get over now. Come on, baby, get over. There it goes. Good. Okay, that was a good decision. So anyway, we'll join you in Burlington. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Welcome back. So we are coming into Burlington, and we're going to see how Amos handles getting onto I-5 South, merging and all that. A couple things I've learned. No interventions since I had the camera off. No disengagements. One thing I've kind of learned is that it definitely likes to leave a big distance. It very much reminds me of a very competent student driver. I do have to nudge it from time to time, and then it will speed up, but then it seems to want to slow back down. So it's a pretty cautious build. Overall, I've been pretty happy, but it definitely feels like a much more competent student driver. So the versions before this, those were also, you know, decent student driver, but that was like fresh. This one's been practicing for a while with a teacher, is what I would say. We've gotten lucky here, not a lot of traffic, so we're not having to jockey around much. Again, as you can see, right, I don't mind, but we're steadily slowing down. I've got my speed set at 60, and you can see people go through here pretty quick. So just trying to get a general sense of how natural it feels. And I think it's okay, but again, if people were behind me or riding with me, they might think that I was a bit of a very conservative, cautious driver. And that's nothing wrong with that, right? That's the idea here, is to make our roads safer through automation, and I am hoping to be helping lend a little bit to that by testing this out and showing it to you guys, so everybody knows, oh hey man, maybe I should think about getting that FSD or whatnot, because I think they're going to get it this year. I don't think they'll get the regulations and the requirements all cleared, but I think they'll have full self-driving licked this year. All right, here we go. Good, set at 72. We're definitely accelerating. Awesome. We've got a car next to us, so now we can get over anytime. looks like we are going to run the lane out. And it's realized that it can't get in front of this guy. No blinker. Yeah, that wasn't very well done. So it made it, but it wasn't real nice as compared to how it handles, how a human being would have done it, and actually how it's done it in the past. Okay, good. Getting over, that's what we want. Getting our instructions up on the screen still, telling us what it's doing, so that's good. And off we go. So we're going to be heading south. We've got about, what, we got 44 miles to our exit. So if anything exciting comes up, I will bring it to you. Otherwise, I'll bring you the last 3 miles of this trip as we try and get through Lynnwood. Just thanks for joining me, folks. As you saw, it made it. No interventions, no disengagements on the on-ramp, but not real smooth and no blinker. That's okay. It's getting better. Catch you on the flip side. So we're still on Interstate 5. We got about 23 miles yet to go, so we've gone about 15 since I last was with you. And I just thought I'd bring you a little bit of I-5. It's kind of, this is a congested area. We're just outside of Marysville going through Smoky Point. And if anything interesting happened, I told you I would bring it to you, and something might through here. So no interventions, no disengagements. The car is doing a great job. As you can see, really good follow distance. It's being safe. Once I learned that if I just tap the gas a little bit to let it know that it needs to speed up, it does just fine, and then it seems to slow down and speed up as needed, just like there. We hit 72, so I'll juice it back up. We can see there's a little bit of traffic up ahead, so we'll just see if some people are kind of trying to jockey in front of us or do anything wacky, and then I'll cut this and we'll do the last 3 miles into Lynnwood. But I thought you might appreciate seeing a little bit of I-5. The auto wipers have been working pretty well. They've gone off a couple times when they didn't need to. I'm spoiled. The 2014 Model S that we got, Mr. Belvedere, it has a real rain sensor, so its windshield wipers work really good. But it only has cruise control, no autopilot, no traffic aware, no cameras, so I have to do all the driving besides the accelerator when we're on the freeway, but that's okay. It's definitely a big difference between that car and this one. It's got a lot of pep, but it's 10 years old and it's an 85 single motor. Getting to this and I'm like, oh man, I forgot how peppy this thing is. But I'm loving the Model S. Really great car. I use it to commute back and forth to work so we can keep the miles off of this. I'll get a video made soon on it. I've been busy. It came with free supercharging for life. Wow. Which I was like, awesome, but it is an older car, so it doesn't charge real fast on the superchargers. All right, and you can see we've slowed down in here. Again, we're maintaining a good follow distance. The car is speeding up as traffic is. I don't want to annoy my buddy behind me, so. But I'm hoping that I can maybe trade that free supercharging in here when Tesla makes another offer in a few years. I hope they keep making these same offers. Otherwise, I'm going to hang on to it forever and just squeeze as much free juice out of it as I can. Yeah, see. Okay, we let them in. That was nice. Again, that's one of the problems. It is a good follow distance, but then people take advantage of it, right? So that's what happened there. And we're slowing down some more. All right, I'm going to give it just a little goose. And it shortened it up a little bit, but not much. It'll slow back down here in a minute. So, okay, looks like we got a little traffic. We got somebody pulled over here in the northbound lane, and I've seen a couple cops now, so there is definitely an emphasis patrol on. If you're in Washington, be on the lookout, and I always think it's a good idea to have a radar detector. So we'll check back in. We've got 19 miles to go. Thanks, folks. 1.5 miles away from our exit. We are in the farthest left-hand lane we can be in. Next lane is a HOV lane. I'm by myself. So now let's see how FSD 12.3 manages getting across 3 lanes of traffic and into an exit lane. 1.3 miles to go. Okay, nice. It hit the brakes, let that person in. If it was me, I would be signaling over. Good, I'm going to lower my speed. Good job. Good. Oh, look, we're behind a Model S, buddy. Okay. And we're going to keep rolling here. We should get over again. That's what I would probably do. Oh, probably right about now. We're not going to be going any faster. The car seems to be not quite sure what it wants to do yet. This is, I will admit, makes me a bit nervous, right? This Lynnwood exit's kind of a mess, but you know, the things we do for science, I am here for you guys. Okay, so it's gonna change lane for a faster route. The nags haven't been too bad, but they are definitely persistent. Okay, good. Now we should get over. We're gonna get in front of a panel van that we just passed. Nicely done. Very smooth. All right, now we're coming up to our exit, and we'll have to do some jockeying around, I think, and usually these lanes are pretty full because there's like 3 lights right when you get off. Good. Nice use of a blinker. Good speed. Yeah, very nicely done. Okay. Good deal. Now we're in the beautiful city of Lynnwood on the outskirts of Seattle, and we're going to see how FSD 12 manages to get us through town and to the Tesla service center. And word on the street is it will actually pull into the parking lot. See, there's another nag. Yeah, okay. We really should have a blinker. Blinker would be nice. We've got a green light, cars, you can go. Okay, so now it's got to... Okay, good. Easing in. That was well done. Now we'll have to work our way over eventually. Or maybe not. Maybe we just stay in this lane the whole way. That was pretty good. That was what a human would do. Just kind of looked and eased their way in. Luckily, we don't have to make this left. If you try to make this left, it can be a nightmare because you got to get across all of this and into that turn lane. But we don't have to do that. So, well done. Okay, so our set speed is at 42. And we're going to come up here and we're going to need to make a right-hand turn in a little bit, about 1.5 miles. So, okay, you can see we're going kind of slow. There we go. Now we're picking up our speed. Pinching the brakes again. Not quite sure why. All right. So we'll lower our speed. We don't need to be going 48 miles an hour. There's a urban charger right up here on the left at the Fred Meyer. It's not real fast, but it'll get the job done. And then we passed a brand new version 3 supercharger at the outlet mall there by Marysville and the Tulalip Casino. Okay. Whoa, hard brake. Nice and smooth though. Nice and smooth. That was more because of this T1 in front of us. Oh, radar detector's coming to life. Man, I saw 3 more state patrol with people pulled over on the way down here, so definitely want to be careful about our speed here. I'm going to give it just a little goose, but we're not going to go. There we go. Set it to 42. K-band could just be some in-city radar sign or something. That's usually what K-band is. But we won't take any chances. Last thing I need is another ticket. Okay, we're coming up here. Oh, no, a little bit further past this light. And we're going to be making a right. Love the new visuals, right? You can see where there's stop signs. And I always like the satellite view. I prefer the satellite view, especially when we're on road trips, because we can see what kind of cool stuff is around us. Hopefully you've been enjoying this video. Hopefully you're getting a good sense of 12.3. So far, I'm pretty impressed, but I mean, I tend towards hyperbole. So it's not hard to impress me, but it's really good. 0 disengagements, and really the only interventions I've had are more for comfort than anything else, right? I had to goose it through a roundabout just because it hit the brakes kind of hard. And then I have to goose it every now and then to remind it needs to speed up. And then use my turn signals for it to make blinker changes. But other than that, it's been really good. So we're going to come up here and there's some kind of goofy little twists and turns. So let's see how it manages that. Funny thing, I had my dad with me when we came down here to pick this car up. We were in our Model 3 TARDIS. And it had FSD beta 10, 10 something. And it just did it. It took this route off to the right, and it did a really good job of it. Like, really, really good job. I was super impressed. Evidently, it's going to take an easier way. It's decided it doesn't want to take the hard route. So, You saw there, I had to give it another little goose of gas. I mean, it's doing a good job. It's just a little bit conservative, and that's okay. But I mean, I have it in insertive, so you think it would be trying a little harder. So it looks like we're coming up here to a light. We're gonna make a right-hand turn. Really, really happy with this drive, and I think once we get to the Tesla shop, that'll be the end of this video. I don't see why I need to bring you video footage of us leaving. It'll probably be real similar to what this is, but zero disengagement drive. We went almost 60 miles. We were on a state route, interstate, Anacortes, back roads, and now we went through outskirts of Seattle in Lynnwood, and it's just been doing a fantastic job. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think we are going to be pulling in with almost a perfect drive. Let's find out. Okay, good. And we got a car stopped, and very well done. Oh, that was rad. That was what I would have done if I was driving, so that was nice. Now, what lane does it want to be in? Here, oh, I gotta give it a little nudge. Okay, good. We're in our turn lane. Probably wouldn't hurt to be in the far left lane, because that's where the Tesla shop is, on the left side, but that's okay. We're gonna let it do its thing. We got an ID4 next to us. And the funny thing is, this is actually where I picked up Mr. Belvedere. I got Mr. Belvedere right down here at Sandberg Volvo, and great bunch of guys. So if you're in the market for a new Volvo or a used Tesla, check Sandberg Volvo. They may have both. Mr. Belvedere was traded in there, and they actually took it in and had $6,000 worth of work done at the Tesla service center right down the road before they sold it. So that's another reason why I was really happy. There's a i3 across the way, little BMW electric, and there's a Nissan Leaf next to me, and ID4. Lots of electrics around here. All right, this is like the world's longest light. I got another Tesla next to me. Let's give you a big view here so you can see what's happening. And I am about, oh, half an hour early for my appointment. That's okay. I got grades to do, and I can read a book. So I'll work on that, get my students' final grades put in, and then tomorrow will be the end of the quarter. We'll get final grades submitted. So I'm sure they're all excited. All right, come on. Come on, world's longest light. I'm really interested to see if it'll pull me all the way into the Tesla shop, or if I'll have to take over at the left-hand turn. We're going to find out right now. There's another nag. See, you can see they're very persistent. They're not super annoying, but there's quite a few of them. Okay, well done. And we've got about a half a mile to go, so we could, yep, excellent. We're gonna get over here in the far left. Oh, baby, I'm excited. I think this might actually be disengagement free with minor comfort interventions. I'm loving it. All right, we're right up here. Oh boy, yeah. And if what Elon's saying is correct, and also the other Tesla management that's been posting on Twitter, we're supposed to be getting frequent updates with new features being added. And Green the Only on Twitter, who checks out what's programmed in these things, he kind of hacks into them. He says actual auto smart summon has been built in, and it just hasn't been turned on yet. So we also have that coming. So I'm going to give it just a little goose here. All right, so here's our destination. Let's see what Amos does to get us there. We got to pull down here. There's a Cybertruck. Oh, cool, Cybertruck. Rad. Okay, we got to flip through here. Very cool. There's a Hummer, an electric Hummer. And we have to turn around. So I'm going to take over because we're in just slightly the wrong side here. But they've got new Cadillacs here. They've got a electric Hummer. So very cool. This dealership down here has a fair amount of vehicles, and we just saw a Cybertruck. So Anyway, if I see the Cybertruck in the lot, I'll make a short. Thanks for joining me. And we got real close. It pulled into the Chevy dealership, not the Tesla, but that's okay. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll catch you on the flip side here at Tesla, Northwest, and EVs.